Hello everyone and welcome to Broden Plays Torment, Tides of Numenera. Now, this is a spiritual successor to the game Planescape Torment, which at the time of that game is unprecedented in the number of choices that you can have for gameplay, as well as everything else that goes along with it. And even today, people still go back to that game because of the different choices and outcomes that you can do and everything else that you can build on there. So we're going to start a new game here. This is definitely a first impression thing. I have not played this game yet, so we'll see what we can do. Planescape Torment is a game that I played for a long time. It was a really fun game. It dealt with a lot of mature themes, including death and mortality, like what would happen between these two things. Male or female? Well, I'm a male every day, so let's be a chick. Your mind wakes in
darkness.
Oh, they're
aching cold sets into an unfamiliar body. A distant howling surrounds you, louder with each passing second. Insistent and invisible hands slap and tear at the membrane that protects you. Your first emotion is an involuntary and formless panic. You feel you have forgotten something important, as if it once meant the world to you, but the details slip away as you grasp at them. You force your eyes open.
Look around.
A white-pink fleshy cocoon surrounds you. Even as you look, a minor rent in its side tears open, and the howling wind forces its way inside. The cocoon rips away, gone before you can grab it, spinning you into a dizzying tumble. You are falling, the world many kilometers beneath you. You catch a glimpse of a curved horizon, and also the ground beneath you that is approaching deceptively quickly. Above you, a small moon is slowly collapsing in upon itself, a corona of acid green and black energy playing around its edges. The wind buffets you and burns your eyes, but you don't need to see the details of the faraway ground to know you're in serious trouble. You won't survive a fall from this stratospheric height. A part of your frantic mind babbles that technically probably fell from a thermospheric height. You struggle to stay focused as the ground rushes toward you.
How to judge how far it is
that you started at least 100 kilometers above the ground. Assuming you fell from a dying moon, that is. You've been blacked out for some time now, and now it looks like you're perhaps 50 kilometers up. Maybe less.
Let's try to remember what happened.
It's hazy. You were in a tall passageway, its sides slicked with dew, the air warm and moist, as if you were caught in the breath of a giant organism. You remember fleeing in fear and exhilaration, laughing through the terror. What was it that pursued you? Something ancient and cold, its coiling power the promise of oblivion. Its shadowed tendrils struck at you, and the walls where they landed were torn apart, utterly destroyed beyond any hope of repair. You leapt into a membranous cocoon and fell from the station, the moon. And then you were empty. But who were you? What was that creature? A word surfaces in your thoughts, and you seize it before it vanishes. Sorrow. The world fills your sight. You're about to hit.
Try to remember the sorrow.
It's your mind to recall, but you push past it, a creature of the forgotten world seeking you out across the centuries. But it's not you it seeks, is it? It sought the man whose memories you shuffle through now, and you realize suddenly that you are not him. You
Interesting.
were... Who? Who were you?
Let's try and search these memories. It's clear we're not going to be able to stop the falling.
If you somehow manage to sidestep everything you know about anatomy, physics, and death, and you are surprised to realize that you do know something about them, and you survive this fall, you suspect that you might be able to reawaken a dormant strength you sense inside you. But who could possibly survive a fall from this height? You remember reaching an escape tube, and you remember being struck by a tendril of force, and then the fall. The fall. You open your eyes in time to see a riot of color around you, your descent barely slowed, and then agony flares throughout your body as a crunching impact destroys you. The last thing you hear is a rapidly cycling whine of energy, and then darkness.
Ooh, ominous. I'm already quite a fan of the narration. Oh, this game looks so much better than the first Planescape, or first Torment, which is understandable considering the fact that the game was made in the 90s. And this one was released, you know, in 2017. I think that makes a huge difference. Alright, let's move around with the mouse. Let's interact with this. Oh, okay, it doesn't look like there's going to be more narration, so I hope you guys enjoyed my voice. There's going to be a lot of me narrating, apparently. So, jumbled thoughts cloud your head as you study the empty bowl before you. Drops of liquid fall from the ceiling, splattering on the ground next to the bowl. The light from every drop is reflected in the bowl's rounded hollow, as if it hungers for that light and needs to be filled. Giggity. Yet the bowl remains dry. Another drop falls from the ceiling and splashes across the pylons. Wasted. Carefully move the bowl beneath the liquid. You've encountered your first task. You have 3 stat points, might, speed, and intellect, that you can spend to increase your chances of success. This is called using effort. To more easily move the bowl in front of you, use mouse to spend might for a higher level of effort. Don't worry if you fail this task. In Torment, failure often results in interesting outcomes. Alright. So I'll use this question mark. Okay, cool, yeah, 85%. Let's try that. Success. You carefully take hold of the bowl, avoiding the teeth on the serrated rim. With a deep breath, you move it over the glowing pool of fallen light. Drop by drop, the bowl fills, ripples spreading over the blurred outline of your reflection. A pale blue luminescence stretches into the corners of the room. A clear radiance spills across the segmented floor, washing away the nearest shadows and pouring into your mind, melting the ragged edges of your fragmented thoughts. You are not whole, not yet, but you have begun to heal from the damage done in your long fall. A voice calls out from somewhere high above, beyond the reaches of the spreading light. Okay, so we can zoom in and out. It looks like these pillars are going up and down. That's kind of cool. I like those. Let's take a look here at what we can do with the zooming situation. Last Cast Off. That's a great name. Let's interact with the bowl. The rippling surface of the bowl shines with its own light. Leave the bowl alone or overturn it. Let's try to overturn it, I guess. When you touch it, you feel a strange tightness in your head, and soon discover that the bowl is far too heavy to move now. Even the attempt makes your arms ache and temples throb. Try it again. The bowl is just as heavy as before, if not more so. You can't budge it. Try it again. Huh, okay. Leave the bowl alone, I suppose. Let's go and interact with this. As soon as you touch the orb, a memory floods your mind. You stand in front of a rusted door. The air is humid and dank. Nice. You've had a moment's respite from this water-logged hell. A bubble of stale air, your resting point. A bubble of stale air, your resting point. You've reached water before, and you've lived decades beneath the waves, but this body's an air breather, and the constant pressure has been crushing you ever so suddenly. Worse, your companion's mind seems to be wandering from task at hand. He's a genius with machines, as you well know, but now he seems distracted. The device in his hands is covered in knobs, wires, and antennas? I think it's supposed to be antennae. He believes it can get the two of you through the corroded door, but he's merely staring at it. Perhaps he's lost faith in his invention, but that is hardly your concern. This mission cannot be delayed. It must proceed. So deceive him? Threaten him? Or this is taking too long, cast a spell to fix the device yourself. I mean, that all sucks. I wouldn't do any of those, but let's do 3. You mumble a few words, drawing power from the air around you until a solution appears in your mind. You snatch the device from his hands, rewire it, and shove it back at him. "Oh," he says, examining your work. "Sorry, I was trying to improve the thing." He waves the device at the door, and the stale air of your bubble freshens as the door swings open. A dark hallway lies beyond, a passage that links the water-bordered cells and the aquatic viewing areas. What you seek lies there. Moments later, you're underwater again, your hands closing around a strange yet familiar artifact. You need it to complete something. It hovers above a pedestal, rotating in the dark water. An electric current runs through your fingers as your hand crosses the vertical plane of the pedestal, and an iridescent field coalesces so fast that the wave of pressure dazes you for a moment. The rising pulse of a sonar alarm ripples through the water. The guards won't be far behind. Run, you can come back for it. They won't be able to protect it forever. Disable the sonar pulse. Use the device to stop them, one of the ciphers in your belt. Alright, yeah, let's do that. You run urgent fingers over the devices fastened to your waist. A fog rising in your mind. A few can be used against the guards, but will also turn your skin to synth steel, or the surrounding water to boiling wax. Hardly ideal. Finally, you find a small silver spear. Setting the sphere in place, you kick desperately for the safety of a nearby alcove. The sphere whirls and unfolds into a spiraling vortex. The sphere at its center speaks a few polite words in an ancient language, then begins draining the surrounding water into itself with alarming speed. The approaching guards shout, then scream as they too are sucked into the whirlpool and ripped to pieces. Holy crap. You allow yourself a fleeting smile, but are all too aware that more alarms are going off in the distance. The memory begins to fade as if you were being drawn backward through a tunnel, and you hear more pylons rising from the pit. Something is wrong. The events within the orb have settled into that gap in your mind, but the edges of it are rough, as though the memory itself is not truly yours. There's something else, a gust of sour air pulling at you, like a predator inhaling the scent of its prey at the far end of a dark, whispering field. Alright, let's run over to this area.
Go.
Hold on just 1 second. Sorry, guys. I'm just taking care of some personal matters real quick. It will just be 1 minute. Just kidding, like 30 seconds. Alright. You stand beside a woman on a verdant crag. Beneath the two of you is a broad plateau towering above the overgrowth far below. Strange machines have been built into the cliffside, presumably for reconnaissance or defense. A metallic disc gleams from the center of the plateau. You're self-aware. Humanoid machines drill into the base of the cliffs below.
If you were looking for a sanctuary, and you were, desperately, this seems like the right place. I don't know about this, the woman says, her voice flat, neutral. Her face is turned away from you. What makes this place any more secure than the other ones we've found? Convince her with the wisdom of your superior intellect? Wow. I would like to use charm or the hidden details that my more experienced eye can clearly see, but let's use our charm for sure. A cloud passes over the sun as you engage her in spirited, friendly debate, pointing out the footprint of a prior world civilization whose power remains untapped. After a few minutes, she laughs, raising her hands in mock surrender. Stop! Stop! Your servitors are down there. You've already chosen this as a site, haven't you? She waits for your affirmation and says, all right, I'm convinced. The two of you sketch your plans for the sanctuary, drawing schematics and architectural diagrams. Then you descend onto the plateau to examine the open ground. The woman suggests having one of the servitors build a shelter for your time here. You try to draw one of the constructs away from its tasks, but it doesn't respond to your voice. When you lay a hand on its shoulder to reinforce your command, it whirls and strikes you across the face with inhuman speed. It turns back to its task, ignoring you. Your companion helps you rise. Laughter in her eyes. It seems your construct has other ideas. What's the matter with it? Use the Numenera integrated into the construct's body to overwhelm the behavior malfunction. Examine the construct for mechanical faults. Look for a deeper solution. Perhaps it's an effect of the metallic disc itself. Okay, yeah. A mist falls on the plateau as you wrap a fiber shielding mesh around the construct's skull. The mesh powers up, protecting the construct's mind from any transdimensional emissions that might be in the area. Taking a deep breath, you repeat your command. Acknowledged. It obeys, or it obediently trundles to the site of your new shelter. The image freezes, then fades, and you feel the memory filling the gap in your mind, blocked by jagged block. You stagger, clutching your head. Reclaiming your memory hurts. And once more, there's something else. Hairs lift, one by one, on the back of your neck. Something beyond this room can sense what you are doing, and is hunting you. That's not good. Also, I'm dropping things all over the place around here. That's professional. Quality content.
Fine.
Fine? Kind of rude. A vision of a city springs up around you. Your city in flames and under attack. Her defenders have fought and died all day, and still the attackers keep coming. And they don't stop coming, and they don't stop coming, and they don't stop coming, and they don't stop coming. They fight as if your destruction were demanded of them. They care nothing for mercy, surrender, or plunder. What they want is blood. But you have brought a keen-eyed companion to the top of the tower. She has seen the way to stop the invaders. You need to get her to safety. You need to rally your defenders. But even as you turn toward the door of the tower, two of the attackers descend from a hovering machine. You don't have time to strike at them before they land. One is brutishly large, his weapon a vibrating axe. Well, I mean, if that's your thing, you know. The other is slim, sheathed in glassy armor, and holding a hilt with a sizzling, invisible blade. Your companion backs away. She's too young to help. Your enemies advance single file, confined by the parapet. Made blows with a giant. Duck under the giant's swing and attack before he can strike. Fight defensively and figure out who presents the greater threat. I mean, that seems the most logical. I'm just going to do what's going to be the most logical that I would do, for sure. The memory seems crystal clear. The giant is menacing. It's true, but the invisible blade of his companion is more worrisome still. The energy field that flickers and wavers around it suggests that she can carve matter at the molecular level, tearing pieces of her target into nothingness. If you're to save yourself, your best bet is to tackle her first. She's stuck behind the giant, waiting her turn to attack you, unable to bring her weapon to bear until he's out of the way. but it's clear that she expects him to handle you, and her eyes rove behind you, her focus on your ward. She's certainly not expecting you to dive between the giant's legs and come up inside her guard. She can't bring her blade to bear in time, and you drive your dagger up under her chin. You catch her before her deadly blade drops onto you and spin her around. The weapon slashes into the giant, and he topples, bisected. Nice! The immediate threat ended. You focus on finding a way back to your allies. You open the tower door and rush down the stairs. The door at the base of the stairs is slightly cracked, opening just a bit into the hall, and you hear more of the enemy soldiers beyond. Do I hurl myself against the door and knock them to the ground? Crack the door open to sneak past them, or charge through them, counting on your defenses to protect you? Let's do number one. You charge through the dim shadows, dropping your shoulder into the door at the last minute. It bursts open. Halfway through its arc, it crashes into the pair of enemy soldiers, scattering them. You race through the door, blade in hand, and you dispatch your stunned foes before they have a chance to move. Their blood begins to pool in the hallway. The memory begins to fade, and you find yourself back in your own body. Your temples throb with the racing force of your heartbeat, and the reclaimed memories blaze within you, like a bonfire on a mountain peak, visible to every predator for kilometers around. A tremor rocks the floor beneath you, as though a massive fist has struck the room itself. Swaying on your feet, you see frantic movement within the borders of a mirror at the edge of the room. Alright, let's check it out.
Yes.
Yes. The border of this mirror is lavishly decorated with a dizzying number of interlocked symbols, daggers, masks, paintbrushes, amulets, and more. But that's nothing compared to what you see in the glass. You see a vast crowd of people, exact doppelgangers of you, shoving, arguing with, and fighting each other. Most are drab imitations of you, but a precious few are vivid and pull at your attention. Each of them bears an intricate pentagonal tattoo on their head. In their eyes, their actions, you see the memories you discovered within the orbs, and the choices you made, shining like distant stars. Your hand twitches at your side, and though some of the bright doppelgangers ignore you, an even smaller number immediately turn to you, waiting for you to choose them and learn what you might become. A rumble shakes the room, and a slow vibration spreads from the darkness below, rippling towards the ceiling. Pointing the doppelganger with the clever eyes, a mystical symbol on his strong-willed, or step away from the mirror. One of these two. Mystical symbol. Clever eyes. Mystical symbol. Clever eyes. Gotta go with the mystics, man. The doppelganger shoulders its way through the crowd, casually donning an 8-fingered glove. Then it dips its fingers into the glass between you. With a grunt, it tears a hole in the surface shaped like a pointed ear. Carefully, the doppelganger speaks an unfamiliar word into the ear, and the ground itself seems to turn, as if you are standing inside the door the doppelganger just opened. When you look around, that hole has disappeared, and nothing has changed. Or has it? The doppelganger plucks the 8-fingered glove from its hand and waits for your decision. Yes, that is who I am. The remaining doppelgangers scatter for the edges of the mirror and vanish. Your chosen identity steps forward. Its appearance changes as it steps out of the rippling glass. Its face exudes intelligence and confidence. Shadows of several devices shimmer all around it. Technology of several kinds from a myriad of past ages. You get the feeling you, will be comfortable with all of it. The word nano sounds in your mind. Aimed scriptor, mystical. Your doppelganger continues walking, stepping into you, filling you, making you whole. That's highly suggestive. Your decision rings out into the cavernous room, awakening and unlocking vast mechanisms behind the walls. Suddenly, a grotesque noise rings rings through your shared worlds. Like a bell if bells could rot. Something is coming. The mirror fades, leaving a dark open doorway. You take a deep breath and step through. Character creation. Your choices in the memories and the mirrors have begun to build your character, but now you have the opportunity to decide on a number of details. First, you can decide to change your type. Type defines the abilities and skills you'll be able to acquire as you advance. Type. Change character type. Nanos are sometimes called mages, wizards, sorcerers, or witches by the people of the Ninth World. Whatever they're called, nanos master the mysteries of the past to the degree that they seem to perform miracles using esoteries, spell-like invocations that combine gesture, commanded words, and psychic disciplines. They tap into nanospirits, numerous particles that suffuse the landscape to alter reality or learn things that they couldn't otherwise know. Jacks are intrepid explorers and adventurers. They are jacks of all trades, hence the name. Although the word also harkens back to fables involving a wily, resourceful hero who always seems to be named Jack. Jacks are at their best when they combine weapons, armor, esoteries, ciphers, and a clever tongue. Nice. They are treasure hunters, grifters, scouts, rogues, and experts in a variety of fields. Glaives are the elite warriors of the Ninth World, using weapons and armor to fight their enemies. Scouts, guardians, warlords, and soldiers could be glaives. Most glaives either have a high might and use the heaviest armor and weapon available, or a high speed and stick with light or ranged weapons, or light and medium weapons. I like this one. Why not? +2 to the intellect pool? Sure. 2 points to distribute to any pool. Alright. +5 health at each tier after first. Gains 2 abilities at each tier. Can pick 1 lore skill at tier 1. Abilities unlocked. Concentration increase. Nanos gain a free level in concentration skill. Cipher limit increase. Practice with handling ciphers allows you to carry more without risking ill effects. Onslaught. Choose a damage type. Deal 5 damage of that type and confer a minor additional effect based on the choice. Oh, okay, cool. Yeah, I mean, sure. Stat pools are the resources you use to apply effort or activate abilities. You can distribute points as you see fit. Glaives tend to favor might and or speed, while nanos favor intellect. Jacks usually benefit from a balanced set of points. Okay, so why not just do intellect then? Yeah, I mean that seems good to me. Abilities unlocked by your type can be active actions, such as attacks or spell-like esoteries, or unique passive effects. Surface thoughts of most people or creatures you speak with appear in conversations. Ooh, that seems pretty nice. Innervate. Remove all negative fettles. Heal 6 points of health. Teleport 1 ally to a point within range. Gain protected. Gain +1 training level in cipher use skill. Allows you to carry additional ciphers. Well, we kind of already have that, right? Like, how many ciphers do we need, you know? I have no idea. Let's instead do Innervate, because I like the healing situation. Most skills increase your chance of success on a specific kind of actions and tasks, but some give other passive bonuses. Each skill starts at the novice level and can be increased to trained and specialized, granting greater bonuses in each skill. Descriptors often leave some skills at the inability level, meaning they inflict penalties. When upgraded, these return to the novice level. Right? So choose an exploration skill. Academic knowledge of the natural sciences and physical creatures. Academic knowledge of machines, mechanics, and the physical sciences. Academic knowledge of the sciences that are not exactly physical nor natural including strange or transdimensional creatures. I either want to do mystical or machinery, but I'm going to go full mystical, sure. Only glaives receive training in weapon skills. Okay. Although you chose your descriptor from among the many doppelgangers in the mirror, you now have the chance to view the specific bonuses and penalties it grants. You can also examine the effects of other descriptors and choose a new one if you wish. What is the character descriptor I have now? You have a gift with the... I don't know. Oh, mystical. Okay. Wrathful. You are quick to anger and have the power to back it up. Nice. Yes. What about something that, like... charming, yeah. Ooh. The intellect pool sucks. But persuasion and deception goes up. Huh. Cautious. Clever. +2 to the intellect pool. -1 in the mystical and -1 in machinery. Ah, crap. What about intelligent? +1 in animesis? The last cast-off can access the memories of previous consciousnesses. This skill represents your focus and acumen when attempting to recall those experiences. Huh. I feel like that might be nice. And then concentration goes down 1. Natural, machinery, and healing. Alright, that's kind of cool. Either mystical or learned, I feel like. This seems to have a lot better stats, so I'm going to go with learned. Are you sure you wish to proceed? This is your last chance to change your cast-off character, or the last cast-off character's type or descriptor. Well, that's actually going to do it for today, guys. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, click the like button. It helps out a great deal. And I will see you next time. I have to keep you guys strapped in, so you want to watch the next episode, of course.